Hey guys, so this is it, our final lesson. We're going to be dividing polynomials by monomials. So either print out the packet that's attached to the Google Classroom or just follow along. But at the end, you're going to have to do a quizzes, and that's it. Okay, so happy end of the year. Here we go. So when we divide a polynomial by a monomial, we are going to divide each term of the numerator by the denominator. So just remember, when dividing monomials, you must subtract the exponents. Okay, but also we have to remember to divide the coefficients. Divide coefficients. And we also keep the variables, okay? So one thing we also talked about past lesson on dividing monomials. Keep the variables. All right. So pause the video, make sure you get that down. The other thing I just want you to remember is that anything divided by itself is 1. We did talk about how anything to the 0 power, whether it be x to the 0, 5 to the 0, negative 10 to the 0, all of those equal 1 by using laws of exponents. But you could just use regular math. Anything divided by itself is 1. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1. X divided by x is 1. 5x to the second y divided by 5x to the second y is 1. Now, if you can recognize that it's a term divided by itself, then you're good to go. But if you can't, you can use your laws of exponents, but it's a lot easier if you could just recognize that anything divided by itself is 1. Pause the video, make sure you get that down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find these quotients. So our first step is something like I like to call a share the love. What that means is we're going to divide each term of the numerator by the denominator. So each one of our expressions in the numerator gets put over the expression in the denominator. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to divide it like we would monomials, but we're going to do 2 separate problems in one. So first we divide our coefficients. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Keep your base, subtract your exponents, and get 3. Now these are both positive, so I'll bring my plus sign down. 2 divided by 2 is 1. A to the third divided by a to the second. Keep our base, subtract our exponents, and get 1. I'm going to clean it up. It's going to be 6a to the third plus I don't need the coefficient of 1 and I don't need my exponent of 1. I'm just going to keep it like that. Okay? So that's our first example on dividing a polynomial by a monomial. So pause the video, make sure you get this down. Now for the next one, we have a different type of quotient. We have a linear, like it's on a line. So what I like to do anytime it's written like that is I like to just divide it, show it like I would the fraction, but I'm going to just write each term divided by negative 2mn. So we're going to divide this by negative 2mn, this by negative 2mn, and this by negative 2mn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my laws of exponents and just dividing monomials. So we have 4 divided by negative 2, and I get negative 2. Then I'm going to put my little ones in there. So I'm going to get m to the third divided by m to the first, match up those variables, keep my m, subtract that exponent, and get a 2. Keep my n, now subtract those exponents. 4 take away 1 is 3. Now I'm going to do the next group. We have 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. M squared divided by m, that means keep your m, subtract your exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then m squared divided by n to the first, you're going to keep your n, subtract your exponents, and get 1. Now last, we have negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. M to the second divided by m to the first divided by m to the first is m to the 0. And n to the first divided by n to the first is n to the 0. Now, how many of you recognize, because it's really hard to see because it's all very congested here. Do you notice that we're dividing this term by itself? So really, I didn't have to write 1 m to the 0, n to the 0. This whole term could have just been written as a 1 because anything divided by itself is 1, but also anything to the 0 power is 1. So both of them work, but if you forget that law that anything divided by itself is 1 and use your laws of exponents, again, you're going to get an equivalent expression. So what I'm going to do is just clean up the rest of the other terms. This is going to stay the same because we need all of those exponents. But the second term, the minus 3, the m to the first, I don't need to put a 1. And the n to the first, I don't need to put a 1. I just need to keep those variables there. But my big old 1 is going to stay there because you need a placeholder for that last term. Okay? So that's dividing polynomials by a monomial. Pause the video, make sure you get this down. And what I'm going to ask you to do is try the next 4 on your own. Check it with the answer key. If you don't need the videos, just go through it and just go right to the quizzes. But I want you guys to do a really good job on the quizzes because this is your last assessment for the year. So I want to make sure I have a good grade for everybody. And if you do get anything wrong on the next, comparing your worksheet to the answer key, just check, the next video and see where you're going wrong. Otherwise, if you have any questions, just message me, okay? Good luck and stay safe.